Alright, so there comes a point when you're getting ready to work and you're not particularly sure as to how to do so. There are many questions that arise. Do I create an assignment in the assignment button that comes up? Do I create an assignment in a particular class and then send it to other classes? Or do I actually start in resources? That's usually my preference. That is what I do recommend people to do. It is very important to know that all the classes that you have will disappear every time you come in September, which means that any work or any activities that you create within each one of your classes actually goes away. It does get archived, so it's not like you lose your work, but when you come in September and you click on courses, you will have new courses that are empty. So if you go to resources and then you go under personal, you will find that this over here is sort of like your OneDrive. Even students have access to this. If they go to resources and then they click on personal, they'll be able to actually save files there. They can create all types of activities, they can create discussions, they can create links, and so forth. So here what I am doing is actually I'm creating all my resources, and I should say my lessons and activities within this particular part. I have a units of study. I'm a social studies teacher, so obviously you see all those different units of study. I have rubrics, because I do create rubrics that I then attach to my assignments. We'll talk more about that in another video. And then we have external sites where I actually have links, which I can just easily drop into my classes. So this is what my resource personal looks like. Yes, there is a public, and public means you can search through things that people have shared. And there are a lot of free resources there for you. So once again, this is a club that I have, projects, these are the projects that we do. And yes, I actually do create tutorials, just as this one, that I do offer and have available for people. Alright, so once you've created once you have your resources, one of the things that I have done is, for instance, here I have ancient Greece, and in ancient Greece I have basically everything laid out in chronological order. So I could potentially, if I want, I could just come here, and when I'm ready for my students to work, I can just actually send this entire folder to a class. Or I could actually just send out, create a folder in the classroom and then send each assignment as time goes by. This probably means more work in terms of, day by day getting this done. But the good thing about it is you can create your lessons within one folder and then just send an entire folder full of assignments. So once I'm in this folder, it's very easy for me. If this is where I am going to create my units, I could just add a resource and then create. This is how you create an assignment. And the assignment name, one thing that I recommend is that you kind of number your assignments, or you have some type of order so that they're not just randomly, you could always say assignment 1, assignment 2, assignment 3. That kind of helps everybody get things in place. You definitely want to make sure that you write your description, put your material in here. And as you've seen in the resources that I've already allowed you to see, you will notice that, well, everything is there. Everything is laid out and embedded into the lessons. Alright, perhaps you want to create an assessment, add a test or a quiz. We'll get more into the particulars of how this is done. Not hard at all. And if you think in terms of what they all look like, they really all kind of just really look this. It's the same format all throughout. So if you know how to create an assignment, you necessarily learn how to create a page. You can add a discussion, where it pretty much looks the same way, except some of the rules are going to be different. If you're adding a discussion, then you can actually have rules, such as students can see their comments before They actually see the discussion. You can actually hide what everybody's saying before somebody posts, or you can decide to allow people to actually read the comments before they actually make a post. So you actually do have that option. You also have the option to link other classes into the same discussions and so forth. Anyway, you can always add files to your lessons, and you could always use this here to get content from your OneDrive, from YouTube, Khan Academy, Google, and actually there's other apps that you may have available. For that, we will go into that later on. So here's an assignment that I've created. This is what it looks like. Start by reading this. Here's an embedded YouTube video, and here are the questions. Now I like to do this so that my students can just copy paste this easily, and then here's the criteria. Linking words, which allows students to use this as a resource when they're writing in full sentences, and then here's another resource, the link to the textbook. Even though it's here, just a double resource of the same thing. So creating a lesson or an assignment is something that you gotta sort of explore and try, and then once your lesson is here, it's very easy for me to take this lesson from here and then add it to one of my courses. I could copy this, make the exact this to another class, or I could just add it to a course. For instance, this class. And then in this class I have different folders. So this is Ancient Greece. I could just click here. How many points? 10 points maybe, 9 points, depending on how you grade, really. It comes down to that. And then due date, you can put a due date on one of your assignments. However, if you're doing self-paced folders, you cannot put grades because actually it kind of overrides the dates, so the dates actually disappear. Category, your gradebook. Is this a homework? Is this participation? Or does this go into projects? And then obviously this usually you don't really deal with this. Enable submissions means, can students submit stuff? Maybe you don't want students to submit stuff. Maybe it's sort of like an assignment that they'll have to do eventually. So you just want to give them a look into what they're going to be doing. Or maybe you do want them to submit something there. You could actually post it this way and then click that so that they can submit. And once you click add, this particular assignment will go to this class under this folder. So that's really how how you begin. You can decide to create your lessons in resources, or some teachers prefer, and this is totally fine, I have done this as well, you can actually just go straight to a class. And here I'm going to a class. This is my third period class, right? These are all the things that we have, and these are the reminders. I have a couple of things to that are ungraded, pending test requests, and here I could just go to this Ancient Rome folder, which we're currently working on, right here, and then I could just say, you know what, I'm gonna add an assignment, and this assignment is gonna be called assignment for the Roman Empire. And I could actually very easily just say, let's imagine there are some instructions here. Let's imagine that I put a video here, a few activities, Google Slides or a mixed presentation. I'm gonna put this under homework, and I can just individually assign this so only 3 students out of my class can see this. Comments enabled? Nope, no comments. I don't want people commenting on this. And copy to courses? No, I don't want to copy to other courses. I just want to create it here for now. And once I do that, only this class has this particular assignment. This is what it looks like. So that is basically how you would go on to create an assignment. You could always edit it. You could always add to it. You could always take away from it. That is all for this particular tutorial. I hope this gave you an idea of how you can start creating this. One last thing that I didn't cover is some teachers will create a class, and they call it a sandbox class or sample class, where you can create a class, you can name it course name sandbox, or you can name it trial class or example class. I like sandbox. And once you create this class, it'll always be here. Here are all my classes, by the way. This is all the classes that I created, and here's my sandbox. If you create a sandbox, you can create your lessons there instead of in resources. However, that class will disappear when the school year starts. But it does allow you to sort of create stuff and be able to see it there and how it looks to students, and then you can just send it to the rest of your classes easily. That's all for this tutorial.